So, well, here's an obvious question too. It's like, well, here's a definition of war. War is the definition of irreconcilable diversity. Right, so diversity is our strength. It's like, okay, well, Hamas and Israel have diverse viewpoints and they're not reconcilable. So what do we have? A war. So what's the story that people are supposed to swallow? It's that although the world has been eternally mired in internecine conflict, the war between diverse viewpoints, if we import all that diversity into the West, magically we'll wave a wand and all that diversity will be transformed into nothing but what? Complex productive cooperation. In the absence, by the way, in the absence of any reconciling framework, because people like Trudeau, for example, dispense with the idea of any national identity whatsoever. So their presumption is something like the natural state of people, regardless of the diversity of their opinions, no matter how diverse those opinions are, their natural state is productive peace, right? So that's what? That's Rousseau? Is that what that is? Is that an unbelievably naive Rousseau? And is that the unwillingness? Is that a reflection of the unwillingness to look at the aspect of the human psyche that's gleefully pursuing murder and mayhem? Just to never cast an eye in that direction. It's all sweetness and light. We're all little children. And if that's what it looks like, something like that to me, it'll be the strange death of Europe will be something like the death of the overprivileged at the hands of their own naivety.
Yes,
and cowardice.
You can see it very closely. I mean, as I say, some ways, I mean, it's a horrible thing to say, but thank goodness the killer in Southport wasn't a migrant who had arrived illegally into the UK a couple of weeks earlier. But you want the peace of your society and the possible peacefulness of your society for the foreseeable future to be reliant on that never happening again?
Well, there's also reliable evidence, Douglas, that the children of immigrants are more likely to be radicalized than the immigrants themselves.
Absolutely, especially reverse integration.
Yeah, especially if they're having a hard time integrating, right?
Well, I mean, that's one of the most common ones. I've spoken with you about this before, but I mean, the most common one is, a parent who flees a particularly ugly and warlike society like, say, Somalia, might realize how lucky they are to arrive in Canada. They might. One would hope that they did. Will the child? No, the child's expectation is that the place they've born in is the normal order of things. And then a load of other people in society, have totally forgotten what the state of nature can be and has been for most of human history, and forget that actually, you can bang on all you like about disinformation or online and so on. Most people are just looking at the situation in front of them. And then suddenly war breaks out, hell breaks loose. Hopefully it's contained, but sometimes you see it completely uncontained. That's certainly what I saw in Israel. The absolute epitome of unconstrained hate that was unleashed on Israel on the 7th. By the way, again, one other quick thing on that, because it's something that is so